The economic downturn in mainland China has led to the closure of large supermarkets. When rumors spread that supermarkets are going out of business, they believe it at the first moment. What will Chinese shoppers do? Take a look at this scene from a supermarket in Henan province. On September 4th, around 4 or 5 p.m., some customers heard that the supermarket was going out of business. This caused panic and they rushed into the supermarket to buy goods. The traffic volume was 100 times higher than usual. The opening hours were extended from 9 p.m. to 12 p.m., and the local police mobilized about 50 officers to control the situation. Most people used their recharge cards to make purchases. There was no major theft, but there were a lot of people eating and drinking in the store. Indeed, a lot of people were eating as the food bags were ripped off in the supermarket. Some people were drinking beverages. Some of the expensive white wines were consumed and people left some empty bottles. Many people take the shopping carts piled with goods and shelves have been emptied. All over are packaging cartons and some falling goods. The whole supermarket is a mess. At present, the supermarket goods have been snapped up. The losses are still being counted. Supermarkets have announced, starting from September 6, business will be suspended for a few days and then will resume business after we have enough goods. After the video of a supermarket in Henan being ransacked by citizens was exposed online, netizens began to criticize. This is nothing short of looting, such poor behavior. One comment said, "Just because the supermarket is closing down doesn't mean you should go in and steal. The goods inside still belong to the store and you should pay for it." Mainland China is facing economic challenges after the epidemic. In the first half of 2021 alone, Walmart, a major chain store, closed 11 stores in China. In June last year, a Walmart store on Heping Road in Tianjin officially closed. That's the first Walmart in Tianjin to announce its closure, and it's also the first Walmart supermarket built in Tianjin. Another major chain, Carrefour, closed 54 of its stores in the first 3 quarters of 2022. In April 2023, Carrefour still had 15 stores in Beijing. However, since then, 12 of them have announced their closure in just 2 months. How come these once brilliant large supermarket chains have suddenly come to an end? One of the reasons is that the income of the public has dropped and society as a whole has begun to experience a downgrading of consumption. Many people are afraid to shop and spend now. Even when they want to go to a restaurant, they have to wait for their payday. Many people shop for clothes when promotions are online and they do not take a taxi when they go out. As a result, fewer and fewer people are visiting stores in malls, which makes it harder and harder for them to do business. A Shanghai netizen said that all her household expenses have been reduced. After being unemployed for over a year, I am really afraid to spend money anymore. Even though I found a job now, I'm still afraid to spend like I used to. Before, I would buy $800 skincare products without blinking an eye. Now, I only buy $30 baby cream. Before I lost my job, I was eager to buy an apartment in Shanghai. I argued with my husband many times over it. He didn't want to because he felt that it would completely exhaust us. Since losing my job, I haven't brought it up even once. I feel too ashamed to mention it because after losing my job, I realized I couldn't find a job and I was so overconfident at that time. And then there was bubble tea, barbecues, expensive food. Before, if my husband and I wanted something, we'd just go for it. Now, even when I crave it, I won't go. In buying clothes, I used to love buying clothes. From high school through college and even after graduating, if I saw something nice, no matter the price, if I liked it, I had to buy it. Sometimes I'd even spend my living expenses on clothes, willingly lowering my food standards. Now, before I buy anything, I tell myself, not buying this won't kill me, and even if I buy it, it won't look that great. The clothes I bought before are still sitting there unworn. Don't buy, don't buy. I kept telling myself this, and over time, it actually works. Even when buying things for my son, I've downgraded my spending. I used to buy him shoes that cost several hundred yuan per pair. His food had to be the best. Now, I don't buy such expensive things anymore. I let him eat the same food as us adults. After all, we grew up like this and we turned out fine. Another female netizen is from Shandong, married in Beijing, net named September. She is unemployed and is even more afraid to spend money. Hello everyone, I'm September, a girl from Shandong who married and moved to Tongzhou, Beijing. I got married here in 2006 and in the blink of an eye it's been 18 years. My parents-in-law are retired and help take care of the child. My husband doesn't earn much, but he's very down-to-earth and treats me well. We have a lovely daughter and no mortgage or car loan. Honestly, we're quite satisfied with this kind of life. However, since I lost my job, I've been feeling very anxious. In the current environment, it's hard to find work and it's hard to make money. So we try to save wherever we can. When it comes to cutting down on consumption, if something isn't necessary or important, we just don't buy it. If we need to buy something for our child, we go to Temu because it's cheaper. Recently, I've sent out my resume, but it's been like throwing stones in the sea. No response. On one hand, it's because of my education level. On the other hand, it's because of my age. I haven't told my parents about my unemployment because I don't want them to worry. While looking for a job, I've been learning about social media and trying new businesses here. Another reason for the closure of a large number of supermarkets is the impact of e-commerce. With the rapid development of e-commerce, many merchants are entering the e-commerce industry one after another. Large supermarkets have to pay rent and staff wages, which will increase costs. E-commerce sells goods online, which greatly reduces the cost. Because it's cheaper, more and more Chinese people are joining the online shopping industry. E-commerce in mainland China saw an 11% annual growth in online retail sales last year, making it the world's largest online retail market. Under this impact, Carrefour China has been closing its stores across the country. In March last year, Carrefour's first store in China closed in Beijing. At the end of August last year, Carrefour's largest store in Beijing also closed. Carrefour, which once had more than 300 stores in China, now has only 1/10 left. As a former retail giant, Carrefour had many fans across the country. However, in recent years, Carrefour's operations have been steadily declining, and even its last store in Beijing couldn't escape the fate of closing down. In fact, the store's exit is related to the rise of e-commerce platforms. The rapid development of domestic e-commerce platforms has dealt an unprecedented blow to traditional retail. At the same time, Carrefour has been trying to transform itself. It attempted to improve its performance by optimizing its product structure and strengthening cooperation with suppliers. However, in the face of e-commerce platforms with well-established supply chains and convenient delivery services, traditional retail simply couldn't compete. It's not just Carrefour. In recent years, many major retailers have also shifted online, seeking ways to survive. Carrefour's departure is truly lamentable, but it also highlights the tough situation of the retail industry. These supermarket chains have done wonders in China before. In 1995, Carrefour opened a supermarket in Beijing's Third Ring Road, which became the talk of the town. Carrefour made a lot of profit in Beijing in those years.
但也反映了零售业的艰难处境。
大家好，今天来持续关注一下家乐福事件。
I'd like to talk about Carrefour. Let me use 3 numbers to explain Carrefour's story. The first number is 1995. In 1995, Carrefour opened its first supermarket in Beijing. Carrefour was France's largest retailer and the world's second largest retail chain. When it entered China, most of the supermarkets in China were small. People had never seen such a large supermarket before, so when Carrefour entered the Chinese market, it was the first time everyone realized that such a supermarket could exist. It offered thousands of products and the prices were great. As a result, its products often sold out, creating a huge sensation. The second number is 100. This number refers to the fact that by 2006, 11 years after Carrefour entered China, the number of Carrefour stores in China had reached 100. Its growth was truly rapid, reflecting the inclusive and open environment of China's reform and opening up period. As a result, Carrefour expanded quickly in China and many other businesses followed suit. But after 2006, with the rise of e-commerce and the entry of other foreign supermarkets like Walmart, as well as competition from local supermarkets, Carrefour's success became harder to sustain. Still, in the supermarket industry, Carrefour maintained a very stable position. The third number is 54. This refers to the number of stores Carrefour closed in China between January and September 2022. Before Carrefour entered China, there were no large supermarkets. People went to the farmer market to buy vegetables and to department stores for clothes and household goods. Carrefour brought a fresh experience to Chinese consumers. For example, people noticed that the staff were friendly and welcoming, there were shopping carts with child seats, and there were services for trying food and products. Carrefour's everyday products were 30% cheaper than those in nearby domestic markets, and there were many large promotional sales. But later, foreign supermarket brands like Walmart, Marco, and E-Mart also entered China, and Chinese consumers realized that these were common practices in foreign supermarkets. Naturally, more and more foreign supermarkets started to share the market in China.
所以因此呢，导致了家乐福的困境。今天就分享到这里，谢谢大家。
连家乐福进入中国的第一家店都关了。
Even Carrefour's first store in China has closed, a worrying situation for the supermarket. Carrefour's Beijing Chuangyijia store posted a closure notice, saying the reason for the closure was due to the expiration of the lease. Some netizens saw on the spot that there was little merchandise left and most of the shelves were empty. The store was Carrefour's first store in China, which started in 1995 and has a history of nearly 28 years, and it was also the first real supermarket in China. However, the first store did not last as the supermarket industry went downhill.
第一家门店最终也没能坚持住。
That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. See you next time.